Ого.
I slept like I used to sleep years ago. Like a miner or a soldier. Empty. Dead tired. Then I saw Tessa. My darling little daughter.
Дочка.
But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't recall her face. I reached out to her, but she just kept getting further and further away. Then I saw Molly. But she wasn't real. Just the ghost of a memory. I'm here, I cried. But all I heard was laughter. Not hers. Who's there? Suddenly, she appeared. Natasha. Just stood there laughing. But her eyes were cold. Then she said something. Painted red. Painted red. Painted red.
Где-то я это уже видел.
That
Painting
was
Red.
just a dream, Sonny.
Наташа умерла? Нет, Наташа жива еще. Ну, по крайней мере, я не знаю насчет того, что мертва или нет. Ее тело не нашли. Я думаю, что она жива. Возможно, даже она убийца. Спокойной ночи, Вероник. Спасибо, что была. Пока-пока.
Appearances can be deceiving.
Let's hope so.
Фоточку. Так, пациент. Ого. Где этот? Кстати, цветная картина. Где этот Нюрса у нас?
This picture,
It's very
special. This
it's
special.
Лиса и какие-то животные еще. Ну ладно.
even if you manage to escape, there's nothing but hills and forests for 100 miles.
Imagine how many poor lunatic ghosts must haunt those woods.
Ooh, Sonny, you're creeping me out. This guy seems strangely familiar to me.
You don't say. You've been treated here too. That would explain a lot.
Oh, don't be stupid. I'm serious. Take a closer look.
No.
Well?
No, it can't be. Are you telling me it's him?
Это же Луис Армстронг.
Himself?
I'm sure of it, pal. It seems the gossip was true. The eternal king of jazz in a madhouse.
Oh, no, no, no. The poor devil.
Это Луис Армстронг.
It doesn't matter how big a star you once were. Ending up lonely and crazy in a rotting insane asylum in the middle of nowhere is like the universe restoring its balance.
That was very poetic of you, Marty. Almost deep. Careful you don't drown.
Cluck you.
Клак ее. Так, окей,
We should
коридор.
go to reception first.
Приемная, это
Let them
да.
know we're here.
А наверх можно?
We should check in.
Окей. Веранда.
Ah, like an angel from heaven, isn't she?
Yeah, half of her's still up there, I think.
That's rude.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Of all the great wild ones,
Greetings, miss.
is it really you?
Well, yes.
Yes, it really is you, the chicken police.
I'm afraid so.
Of all that's furry and plumy, that's fantastic. Oh my goodness.
Miss, we'd like to ask...
Please, don't be scared. I'm just really excited. You know, I've read every book about you and your adventures, and I even collected newspaper articles when I was a little girl.
Indeed.
You can't imagine what an honor it is to meet you in person.
We really...
Oh God, oh God, oh God. Take a deep breath, Miranda. Take a deep breath.
Ох уж эти
Are you
медсестры.
okay, miss?
Yes, I just needed some air. So, dear detectives, Santino and Martin, what can I do for you?
Well, miss, we have some questions, if you don't mind.
I'd love to answer all of your questions, detectives.
Прям фанатка, короче.
Sorry, but
Neither can we.
you can't imagine how wonderful it is that I can help you in one of your cases.
Miss, those books aren't...
Don't even tell me. No, I don't want to know.
No, I didn't mean...
Leave it to me, Sonny. I'm good at this.
No, I thank you.
We won't either.
We're happy to bring.
Понятно.
Say, miss, what can you tell us about this place?
Our institution was standing even before the Great Meat War, and during the war, it was transformed into a military hospital. Since then, we're relentlessly working on treating injured minds under the leadership of Dr. Quetzal, the famous specialist.
The place seems pretty empty. Do many people work here?
We have 32
32 пациента и
residents
7
and
медсестер.
7 nurses, including me. We also have a 3-person maintenance and cleaning staff, and, of course, the heart and soul of our institution, Dr. Quetzal himself.
I see. Now, this Dr. Quetzal, is he the director here?
Exactly. Director, scientist, researcher, patron, and doctor. And even a friend.
Quite a guy.
Отличный
He
парень.
certainly is.
So
Окей.
who is this Dr. Quetzal exactly?
He's a world-famous researcher of the mind, Mr. Featherland. He published countless books in the fields of psychology and psychotherapy.
Psycho. What?
Unraveling the mind. It's the most crucial mission of the century, Mr. McChicken.
That's really good to know.
So this doctor's some celebrity, right? Does he usually meet other important persons?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
Well, like Mr. Hobart Wessler, for example.
Ah, yes. That's something you should ask the doctor himself, but unfortunately, I don't think he has time right now.
Хороший акцент у нее, кстати.
He's swamped, is he?
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. He is very, very, very busy. All the time.
I thought so. What can you say about this, miss? Have you seen anything like it?
Of course. Our residents wear these for identification. But how did you come by it? They only wear them inside the institution.
Huh. I see.
The wristband does belong to one of our residents. But I'm afraid I'm not allowed to tell you more due
Правила с
to
большой буквы П.
regulations.
Oh, come on, Miranda. It's us, the Chicken Police.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Miranda, this case is a matter of life and death.
Ну
Lives
какой
are in your
давит, а, на
hands.
жалость.
All right. All right. I'll do it. Albert Wessler. The patient's name is Albert Thaddeus Wessler.
Figures. Just as we thought.
Thank you, Miranda. We'll never forget this.
Please, don't make me blush. And don't tell anyone you heard it from me.
Не, никому.
Oh, we
Могила.
I promise.
So when can we talk to Mr. Wessler?
I need to ask Dr. Quetzal. Please wait here.
Thank you.
Dr. Quetzal will see you. He's waiting for you in his office. Up the stairs, all the way down the hall, until the last door.
What a
Окей.
surprise. It's enough to mention Wessler's name and all the doors are open.
I wouldn't want to get mixed up in this, but do you think Albert is in danger?
Danger? What do you mean?
We haven't heard from him since he disappeared, and we're really, really worried.
I see. We don't know yet, miss, but let's hope for the best.
Мгм.
Great wild ones protect him.
Where is he?
No idea, Marty.
The smell of all that's furry. I'll never get used to it.
Well, reptiles have a disgusting body odor, Marty, but they feel exactly the same about us.
Exactly. Great wild ones, you scared the hell out of me.
I already sensed your arrival from afar. You know, snakes have a different sense of smell, and
А,
birds used to be
да?
our prey once upon a time.
Well, yeah. Luckily, we're living in civilized times.
Lucky. Please take a seat. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Так, давай посмотрим.
Your office is rather Puritan. Simple, I mean.
Ain't that the truth?
Well, yes. I can't let my mind wander from my work. I only keep what's essential in my office.
I see. Makes sense. Why do you have bars on your windows?
Because it's a room like all the others, and I'm just an animal too, like all our residents.
Криповенько немного.
With the significant difference of you being a doctor and not a patient. Am I right?
It's not as big of a difference as you'd think.
An isle of reason in a sea of insanity.
Insanity is such a strong word, and it's mostly an abstract idea. Where does insanity start, and how long is one not insane? Interesting.
Короче, он какой-то
question.
странный.
Am I normal, or are you? Maybe neither of us.
You see, that's something I think about a lot nowadays.
If you like, I can give you an appointment.
Oh, this is your chance, Sonny. Don't miss it. We're already here.
Marty, clock up.
Так.
Is this cell like the others?
I would rather call it a room. But yes, it's like all the others, except there are even bigger ones than this.
Is this cell...
I would rather...
Так. Все?
So, escaping is impossible.
If I'd want to escape, I have the privilege of using the door.
A snake. I can't help it, but they make my feathers stand on end.
To be honest, gentlemen, your visit is anything but a surprise. I could even say I was expecting it.
What an introduction.
Please forgive me. I have the bad habit of immediately getting into the middle of things. How very rude.
Сесоус
My name is Dr.
Квеtzalcoatl.
Sessuus Quetzalcoatl, but most
Quetzalcoatl.
call me Dr. Quetzal to keep it simple.
The name is Santino Featherland, and this is my partner, Martin McChicken, from
the Predatory Division of the Clawville Police Department. Your fame is one step ahead of you.
We're used to it.
Certainly.
We have some questions about one of your patients, if you don't mind. We'd like to talk to him, if that's possible.
Please be specific, Detective.
Look, Doctor, we're too tired to play cat and mouse. Not that snake and chicken sounds any better.
Very funny, I must say. Just what I expected from you two detectives.
We know you know it's about Albert Wessler, Ibn Wessler's secret twin. Ever since we've said his name, all the doors have miraculously opened. That's what we call a bullseye.
Well, yes. Why should I deny it? We're talking about a rather illustrious patient here, who's also a very particular medical case.
Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand, I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
Спросить.
So,
Let's see.
Го, поспрашиваем.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
for quite some time, his first symptoms surfaced in his teens: depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Was he brought here immediately after the first
Schizophrenia?
signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because
In the
animals
middle
would
of
rather
nowhere,
hide,
типа
but they're afraid to
в
face.
центр
I couldn't have said it
ничего,
better
грубо говоря.
myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Допрос, окей.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Clawville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
Сейчас, короче, усну.
Tell
Под
me,
эту
Doctor,
музыку.
do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Так, допрос.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Загадочность.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
Так, помешан на деталях. Помешан на деталях. Чем-либо угрожало вам? Особое лечение?
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
Так. Что вы подумали по первой встрече?
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes.
Художник.
He was rather feminine. He was an
Он
artist,
нарисовал эту
Mr.
кису,
Featherland, a magnificent
Наташу.
painter and rather good writer too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
Why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I
Так.
want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
Когда и зачем первый раз покинул учреждение?
When and why did Albert leave the institution
Детали,
for the
нужны
first
детали.
time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free.
Да,
Naturally, we
нормально.
obliged.
Нормально я, да?
We
Быстро
had
иду.
no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him.
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship.
Картина
He was
Наташи, короче,
working on a
понятно.
painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely
Mhm.
lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Так. Банально. Рассказывал вам о своих ощущениях по поводу картины. Рассказывал вам о своем общении с братом. О Наташе. Ну, тут я, честно говоря, немножко задумался. Несколько раз, наверное.
So Albert left on many occasions.
Я так понимаю,
to
что
continue
подменили
working
просто
on the
его.
painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself. And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely.
Наташа что-то сделала, короче, с этим чуваком.
By
И
piece.
отправила его в дурку,
Do
видимо.
you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed. Right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was
Неплохо.
torn out, or cut off, I don't know exactly. And he was blinded in one eye. Or rather, one of his eyes was missing.
Но это был точно не он, короче.
entirely.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Это был уже другой.
Yes.
Был его брат.
And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused. Maybe it's not easy for you to talk about it, but did you examine his wounds thoroughly?
I'm not that kind of
Жень,
doctor,
привет.
Mr.
Это игра, которую мы играем уже
Even
третий стрим.
I could determine his
Chicken
tongue
Police.
was either cut out or bitten off, and his eye was gouged out. He also had several broken bones.
But there's no doubt it wasn't an accident.
I don't believe it was, Mr.
Поэтому не заходил.
I
Так не, вот я сейчас
totally agree.
заканчиваю уже, все. Завтра будет другой стрим. Что, по-вашему, случилось с Альбертом?
Concentrate, Doctor. What do you think happened to Albert?
I'm sure it was Hobart. He ordered his men to mutilate
Логично.
poor Albert.
But why would he do that?
Maybe Albert saw something he could accidentally reveal.
To whom? The four walls? A couple of crazies? You?
To anyone, Mr. Featherland.
I don't think it's that simple, Doctor. But thank you for your honest opinion.
You're welcome, detective.
Как исчез?
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had
Но игра все равно
to
неплохая.
transfer him
Такая
to
человая,
another
реально чиловая.
more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative
Не зашло? Ну,
state by then.
для аудитории не
Managed to
зашло.
draw anything out of him?
Но мне нормально. То есть, как бы,
Hobart?
почилить, как бы, не напрягаться.
For
Мне
a
норм.
while, he was
Тем
trying
более, что
to
мне Руслан подарил ее.
something. Perhaps he was too afraid, and most likely his fingers
Так
had
что
been
подаренные игры я в любом
too
случае прохожу, если они неинтересны.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off
Где он
the
сам?
face of the wilderness.
Руслан тут
We don't know what happened. to
был.
him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
По-моему, я провел идеальный допрос. Просто идеальнейший допрос. Сотка, ни одного неправильного вопроса. Да.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret.
Руслан, короче,
If it wasn't for Mr. West's
подарил мне игру.
demand,
Мы начали в нее поиграть часа полтора, а потом он, короче, ее сам купил и на следующий день прошел. Перед тем, как я еще ее
Then
прошел.
the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We
Как
believe
Урсула-то,
you,
кстати.
Doctor.
Ничего, нормально.
So, can we take a look
Мне
at
зашло.
Albert's
Мне зашло.
I'd rather call
Сексуальная
it his
женщина.
room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we
Жирафика
tried to
тоже,
make
да,
all of
да.
our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Жирафика, которая, знаешь, такая фанатка прям, типа, да?
Well, that's surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and great expectations.
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah,
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Так, модная кровать. Письменный стол. Письмо.
Look at that. A letter.
Окей, сейчас посмотрим. Фото.
Identical twins. And looking at it, they may have easily loved the same woman.
Да.
2 men and 1 woman. Nothing good ever comes of that.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly.
Of all the wild ones, Marty, please.
За
stitch
шеей
up your
клевала.
beak, okay?
Just use your imagination, old bird.
Так, куча газет. Все, да?
Scribbles. Newspaper articles.
Just like the troubled mind of a troubled...
Yeah, but there's still a kind of order in it.
If you say so, boss.
Так, все. Что по предметам здесь у нас есть?
Albert was madly in love with Natasha and would have done anything for her.
Я знаю,
I'm
типа,
afraid he did
see
exactly
me,
that.
but I'm not what you think. Ой. Прости меня. I can hold myself for long. Forgive me, please. I'm sorry, but I can't help it. The world is crashing down. The whole world just rotten and rotten. Everything is rotten around me. I have to get out of here to become one with my destiny and one with you. I don't about me. Every day, every minute, always. I'm in my dreams. Короче, да, он влюбился в нее.
Albert was mad.
Он влюбился в нее. Так.
Identical twins. And looking at...
Угу.
What do you make of this?
Apart from the fact the guy was totally insane? I don't know. What should I?
That maybe we've been chasing the wrong person all this time, Marty.
What do you mean?
Everything will be revealed.
Да все понятно,
soon.
господи, уже и так.
Why do you have to be so melodramatic all of a sudden?
If I'm right, this'll flip the whole case upside down.
What's that, Sonny? A blurb from some horrible novel?
I just have to think things through before I come to any hasty
Понятно, что
conclusions,
Ибн
You're
убил
killing
своего
me.
брата.
So what now? Where to?
Back to
А может,
Clarkville,
это и не
where we
Ибн
can
был, а может
finally
быть,
put
брат
all
убил
the
своего брата.
pieces together.
You're driving me crazy.
Может быть, тот, кто рисовал
Alright,
картины,
Let's go home.
убил того нормального, короче. Вот так вот. Так, все что ли?
What can you tell us about the woman in the photo we saw in Albert's room?
Do you mean Miss Natasha Katsenko? Well, yes. I don't know much
Короче,
about
чел, который был в
but
дурке,
everyone heard her name
убил своего брата.
around here.
Did she ever visit this place?
Never. But if you ask
Почти
me,
конец. Видишь, я почти успел до 11
Natasha
часов.
probably didn't even know Albert was a resident of our institution.
And Albert, did he mention her often?
Банальная концовка.
Constantly. It was obvious
Ну,
he had an
все равно
affection for
интересно.
Miss Katsenko, but I wouldn't have thought for a moment he could escape because of her.
I wouldn't jump ahead, Doctor. Something else could be behind Albert's disappearance.
Do you think so? All the signs clearly indicate this.
Maybe they do, Doctor, but in my line of work, logic's not always the best advisor.
In 99% of cases.
Exactly. But this one typically belongs to the remaining 1%.
If you say so.
So, detectives,
I'm afraid we have, Doctor.
I wouldn't dare to say I'm happy.
Well, thanks, Doc.
I hope I don't offend you by saying I hope
Not on account of either of our jobs.
Exactly.
Окей, все.
Farewell, Miranda, dear. Lovely to meet you.
So, you'll remember my name?
Marty McChicken never forgets, ma'am.
Oh,
Furry gods. Let's go. Goodbye, miss. It was a pleasure.
goodbye, gentlemen, and happy investigating.
I'm sure it'll be fun.
If there's anything I can help you with, please just ask.
Thank you, Miranda. You've already helped enough.
Please, I'm at your...
Thank you, miss.
Так, все, го обратно. Отель Атлас. Ну, видимо, да.
Oh, I don't believe this. Those two again?
Take him out. My car won't last much longer.
Don't worry, Sonny. I was born to do this.
Concentrate, Marty, for the God's sake.
Can you drive like you're not a fucking lunatic?
Shut up and shoot, you big feather pillow. Are you blind or what? Where did you learn to shoot?
Конечно, механика стрельбы здесь такая.
Whew. Well, that was close.
A little too close for my taste. And it only strengthens my belief. Wessler is desperate. He knows if we survive, he's done for.
Oh, come on, what did you work out? Will you tell me already?
Sure. Let's put the picture together, piece by piece. Let's start from the beginning.
Так, Ибн.
We got a case.
Тим. Чего? Конечно. А, Наташа? Я думал, Ибн сюда должен быть. Так, окей. Близнец Весслера. Да. А, стопэ. Предметы. Фото. Нет? Послание, значит. Да в смысле? Фрагмент картины? Чего? Нет. Наташа пыталась скрыть картину от нас. Нет. Наташа пыталась показать нам картину.
Natasha tried to show us the painting.
Так, и фото.
And that painting would have shown us the way.
Картина привела бы нас на след, который привел бы...
To Ibn and Albert Wessler. Albert painted Natasha, so he met her on more than one occasion.
Роковая страсть.
Which made Albert
Альберт.
fall in
Да.
love with Natasha. And on a fateful night, he killed his brother so he could take his place in secret and win Natasha's heart.
Легчайше.
So what happens now?
The inevitable, Marty. We're going to the Wessler mansion to confront Ibn with the facts.
You mean Albert, right?
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Natasha.
Do you think she knew about it?
Something stinks, Marty. The whole case seems too intricate.
Too many coincidences, right?
Well, after 10 years, you did learn something, didn't you?
9.
You're right.
Huh.
What?
You just laughed.
Почти такое же время?
What?
Чуть дольше, наверное.
No, I snorted.
No, you laughed.
Ah, just leave it, Marty.
I'll be telling this to
Я
my
учитывая, что я не тупил
grandkids.
нигде почти. Ну, мало где
All
тупил.
right, pal, that's enough.
Очень много диалогов слушал, там все почти проговаривал.
So, Albert fell madly in love with Natasha and decided to have her for himself.
And his best chance was to trade places with Ibn Wessler.
So that's why the torn out tongue.
Yeah, Ibn couldn't squeal even if he wanted to.
What a diabolical plan.
More like insane.
But why the messages then? Why the threats? Albert got what he wanted. He could have got away with it.
I'm not a psychologist, Marty, but remember what the doctor told us. Albert has a seriously injured mind and a split personality. I think his two identities were at war with each other.
So the messages were written by one of his personalities, consumed by jealousy?
Да уж.
Something like that, Marty. But we can only learn the whole truth from him.
You're right. So, are we going or what?
We're going, Marty, to finally finish what we started.
Well, if there's anything you'd like to do before, do it now, boss. You won't have a chance later.
You're right, Marty.
Даже мясника не
It's time
показали.
to wrap everything up.
А нужно ли?
I just realized. Ibn at the Tsar Club.
Yes, Marty. Albert's been Ibn for a long time now. Do you remember what Natasha said about him?
That he's been acting strange recently?
Exactly. Like he's not himself anymore.
It was almost hitting us in the face, huh?
Don't blame yourself, Marty. We
Чё
couldn't
это
have figured
такое?
that out just by ourselves. The whole story
Что
is
за дырочка
too
такая?
twisted for that.
Well, it's how we make our living, Sonny. And I'm sure we'll have plenty more twisted cases to come.
Who knows, Marty? It's not up to us. It's mostly not up to us, in fact.
Yeah, right. Do you think the asylum was in on it? I mean, covering up Albert's disappearance?
You know that reptiles give me the creeps. One of them even set fire to that ship. But oddly enough, the doctor seemed honest to me.
He seemed like a patient to me. Seriously, I thought everyone was crazy in that place.
Yeah. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he doesn't become a monster.
Are you still talking about the doctor?
Good question.
So, what's the plan? We shove the letter and our theory in his face and see what happens?
Something like that, Marty. I think our presence will be enough for the truth to come out.
I really hope you're right, Boss Bird.
We have no other choice. So I hope so too.
Do you think it's a love triangle? I mean, could Natasha love Albert as well?
Good question, Marty. But I don't think so. When I first spoke to Natasha, she told me she loved Ibn in her own way.
In her own way, huh? And could she love two rats in her own way?
Maybe. Maybe she even suspected the truth, but didn't dare admit it, even to herself.
So, what do you think, now that it's clearer?
I don't know, Marty, but I believe Natasha didn't mean to be bad. Not intentionally, at least.
I'm not as sure of that.
Шлюха! Типа она была с
We'll find
двумя.
out pretty soon, I guess.
Вот почему
I think
шлюха.
Natasha was very much aware that wherever she goes, disaster follows her. But it's not her fault, and she can't do anything about it. There are people like that.
Really? You don't say. Someone remarkably similar came to mind right now.
You mean me, right?
Who can even read minds?
Maybe you're right, Marty. Maybe you're right.
Look, Sonny, I think if we go now, there's...
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
Thanks, partner. I'll do... Hey, Lewis. You weren't awake all night because of us.
I've never been this excited, Sonny. Serious. What is it?
You, Lewis, you don't stutter anymore.
What?
Just now, you didn't stutter. Not even a little.
Oh. I must be exhausted. It happens.
Симулирует,
sometimes.
короче.
And it's back.
So, thanks again, Lewis. You always get us out of trouble.
Come on, boys. Don't even mention it. It is me who is grateful to be a part of an adventure.
Он не таким, каким кажется.
Maybe
Не тот, кем кажется.
the last one, too.
Hey, Sonny, don't spoil his mood. He's so...
Pardon?
Nothing. Nothing.
So, you're
We have no other choice, Lewis. We're gonna...
brave.
Well, the rabbit's eye.
This isn't about money.
Stubbornness.
Mostly, yeah.
Так, окей. Апартаменты Уэслера. Скотт Док. Дом. Воскресный коттедж. Ну, го в Скотт Док сгоняем.
You know, Sonny, few places are as cozy as the hot dog at dawn.
На
You have a
рассвете.
point.
The silence, the fog, the sunshine slowly devouring the sleeping city.
The smell.
Yeah, the Cobbler District has its own distinctive aroma, that's for sure. But wait, do you smell that?
It seems Zip is ready with the first batch of coffee.
That's waiting only for us, my friend.
А где муха?
Does it still work?
Who knows? Maybe Zip's keeping...
I can easily imagine. It seems so peaceful now, huh? Like,
You mean...
yeah. I admit, I miss it.
I'm not surprised, since she hasn't heard from you in days.
Yeah.
Так.
Old Zip's finally
А,
come
он
to his
снял
senses.
табличку
I think we may have got
про
to.
насекомых.
We get to everybody, Boss Bird. Everybody.
Снял табличку.
It's a pleasant surprise, that's for sure.
Типа, насекомых не обслуживаем.
Hello, big.
Hail to thee, O father.
Well, he's out. He's brave indeed. Or an idiot.
They're often the same, Marty, and you should know.
Так, ну чё, здоров, Зип.
Hello, Zip. I see they kicked you out.
You know, Sonny. They told me I could stay in there for 48 hours if I wanted.
Well, maybe you should have done that.
Shit, I had enough. Fuck it. You understand? When you interrogated me, you opened my eyes. I don't give a shit about him, about Wessler and his henchmen. Let them come if they want. It's not gonna be easy for them. You can be sure of that.
That's the Zip we know and love.
Thanks, Marty. So, why you here?
One last coffee before the end.
Are you going to get him?
We don't have a choice, Zip. We're grabbing the rat by the tail. No screwing around. No playing it nice.
Ah, I see Ibben's really got to you.
Just Sonny. I'm like this all the time.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you expect will happen when you get there?
They'll either let us in, or we'll blow open the doors and go in guns blazing. How hard can it be?
Well, I'm not sure you know what you're up against, boys, but it's your funeral. I'm just glad I got to know the legendary chicken police.
Hey, don't write us off yet.
I'm just getting ready for all possibilities, Marty. Hey, chicken coppers,
Yeah, Zip?
take care of your feathers for me, okay?
Will do, Zip.
Don't worry. I'll protect this smelly old bird. I'm gonna try the food here one day.
Oh, you have to die of something, right?
No, it can't be that bad. Though, I'm sure old Zip's not making it out of premium faux meat. You're right about that.
Так,
Eat garbage.
так, все.
All in all, thanks, Zip. You've been a great help.
Thank you too, boys. You really opened my eyes. If I see Wessler...
I'm not sure that
Все.
One more coffee, boys?
Thanks, Zip. Maybe next.
if there is a next time.
One more
Все,
coffee?
здесь
If
конец.
there is a next time.
Выходим. Так. Киоск.
Well, if we have anything else to ask the old...
Hey, don't steal my stuff.
Just learning from the best.
Let me give you some advice. Does the name Albert mean anything to you?
I know multiple Alberts, Sonny. Which one do you mean?
Albert Wessler.
I see you're in a funny mood, Sonny boy.
I'm not joking, Mullen, but I'm surprised there's something I know and you don't.
And who is this Albert anyway? Ibn Wessler's hidden son, maybe?
Even better, my friend. His secret twin brother. I was hoping you could tell me something.
I can, Sonny boy. Avoid him. Avoid the whole Wessler.
Well, I used to be a professor.
No, I didn't.
I lied.
Окей.
What do you know about that assumption?
Since there's only one of those around Clawville, I know which one you mean, Sonny. It's an ancient...
We actually just got...
That is...
Seriously, what do you...
The place is self-sufficient in theory, but in reality, the Crown maintains it. No one knows the exact reason why.
Well, they say we're legends too, and we're...
What can I say then?
This Albert, he had to paint a picture of Natasha at his brother's request.
Let me guess.
Yeah, classic, huh? Then...
Yeah, well, that's a classic too. So, you're telling me...
Exactly, he's Albert.
Lads, I guess that...
You mean Meredith? Oh, that's...
Once you sold your soul...
That's what I keep telling him.
Быстрее уже идем,
You
чтобы
know Dr.
закончить.
Quetzal?
You mean
Тут ничего важного
Professor
нет.
Quetzalcoatlus? Yeah.
You did...
Do I not look the type to you?
No, well, I didn't mean that, I just...
I studied psychology, Sonny. Only...
So that's why you know the animals so well.
No, I know them well because I have a newspaper stand and I talk to hundreds of animals each day. And I listen to the everyday problems of...
You surprise me every time, old beaver. And what do you know?
You're afraid he screwed you? He looks like a terribly dishonest snake, but don't let your prejudices overshadow
Добрый,
what
честный,
your
ну да.
bottle tells you.
That's good to know, Uncle Mullen. Or rather,
Hey, don't get caught.
what do you know about the Wessler Mansion, Uncle Mullen?
That if you're about to go there, bring a tank with you. Or two.
Dangerous, you mean?
Dangerous? It's a fortress, so it has giant walls.
Yeah, sounds great.
It's a beautiful place, I must admit. At least
That's something.
good attitude, my lad. Keep it.
Hey, old man.
You know what's my...
What?
That clever.
How can I help you?
Well, son.
So, you'll be up.
You're sharp, old...
Well, me dear lads, I'm...
Hey, don't you...
I'm just...
Шуточки. Так, отель Атлас, дом Буба. А что в коттедже может быть? Что в коттедже может быть?
So, we're looking for more evidence?
No, I was just thinking we could...
Okay.
Don't even...
You're really becoming...
One more word.
Yep, I'm gonna shut...
Так,
Well, they couldn't even manage...
Useless pincushion.
They're always half-assed, Sonny.
Leave them be. You
That's why I deserve a medal.
get out.
Так.
Wind down.
Yeah, if you only knew how much I've thought about that. But I'm simply not good at anything else.
Also, to be a cop.
так, здесь ничего нет вроде, да?
You don't want to go in there just like that.
I hope you're just messing with
Of course I'm messing with you. Let's get in. You know, Sonny, when we entered...
Deborah.
Yeah, her body. I called you every...
What kept you with me? Was it just...
No. I just wanted to see your downfall, boss.
Wow. Well, thanks for your...
But then everything changed.
On the ship. What?
I don't know. Being...
I think I do, Marty.
So, I guess
Nothing left to do but kill a...
for the last time,
For the last clucking time, Pop.
swear.
I sweat.
All right.
Так, доступно достижение, тени про... А, прикольно, если бы я не поговорил, то у меня не было достижения. Там, короче, про Марти еще одна штука. Марти прав, я был очень эгоистичным ублюдком, но теперь ничего не поделать, мы там, где мы есть. Мне кажется, что он будет рядом до самого конца, как и всегда. Да.
The phone's dead.
Ой. Так.
Nice.
Yeah.
Так, ну тут ничего
Ага.
нового, да? Все, го. Осталось сходить еще сюда, к доктору. О, Урсула вернулась.
No hard feelings?
What can I say, boys? I have a big, soft heart.
You sure do,
Да,
Ursula.
точно.
Would you like a nice hot cup of tea?
No thanks. We just came to say goodbye.
Why? You going somewhere? Traveling?
No, we're just visiting a nice place in the city.
Sonny's gonna die.
Shut up, Marty.
So it's a case. Well, be careful, boys. And I'm sorry I snapped at you the last time.
You don't need to
Ох,
say
это
that,
Урсула.
We deserved it.
You're a good boy, Sonny. And Marty's a downright saint.
Oh, come on, Ursula. Stop that.
How is the old owl?
He's old, and
Wait a minute. Isn't he...
he is. I mean, Reginald's never truly.
Even now?
Yes.
I gotta see that.
Take care of yourself.
Will do onto your...
Hey, don't be.
Тетушка Урсула.
Hey, Boobo.
Hello, old...
Is he,
But his eyes are open.
Boobo!
Hey, what is it? I wasn't sleeping.
You were something.
What the hell are you doing here, chickens?
Sonny wanted to say hi before he suffers an unpleasant death of lead poisoning later tonight.
Would you shut the clock up, Marty? You're not funny.
I am a little bit.
You're going to Wessler's, huh?
Bingo. We're gonna put an end to this madness.
Ooh. Or you're stirring up an even bigger madness, am I right?
Well, that's always a possibility.
Get yourself killed for all I care, but don't come here covered in blood, because I'm not gonna open the door for you, I swear.
Oh, thanks for the support, old fart.
Don't mention it, you old gizzard. Can I give you a piece of advice, Martin?
Of course, Bubo. Go on.
Take care of the old rooster, okay?
That's all I ever do, Doc.
Can I give you take memories, huh?
I remember every day.
Next time, tell
Так, все.
Very
Здесь все. И... Отель Атлас. Ну все вроде, да. Да, го на дело.
The sun was shining, and all the ducks were in a row. I felt ready. The pieces of the grand puzzle were laid out on the table. I just needed to piece them all together. A revealing glance or a careless word, and I'd have the answer. I knew we were in the right place. I knew it was nearly over. Was Natasha really just a victim? Or did she know everything? Was she controlling the puppets from behind the curtain? Well, if you don't know where to go, go straight ahead. What could possibly go wrong? Here I am, Natasha. I hope you're waiting for me.
Все что ли?
Furry gods. I knew he was rich, but wow.
Half the city is in his hands, Marty, and half the Council of 12.
I think we'll catch a big fish today.
Don't count your chickens. I'm sure Wessler's expecting us, and Natasha too, I hope.
You hope?
If I'm right, she could be our only chance of survival.
Lovely prospects, huh?
I've had worse.
Really?
Модная тачка.
Quite the steed, isn't it?
Seems nowadays.
Мгм.
Are you surprised?
Well, they say the team's back.
Nah, that's impossible.
Oh, yeah. It's
Так, вход, оранжерея.
Oh, this place has its own...
100% humidity,
Oh, not like that.
or maybe some chicken-eating giant
Все это
farm.
монстры-кураеды.
Oh, you just made that up, right?
Крыса-рыцарь.
Huh. One of Wessler's ancestors.
Wessler's ancestors were poor cobblers. More likely, this
I wonder how chivalry is compatible
Ibn was planning to lead.
when his twin brother tore out his tongue, poked out...
Yeah.
Так. Особняк.
Is this a mansion?
Or a small,
Well, if it comes to hide and seek,
a serious advantage.
Башня.
what the hell is it? Water tap?
I think it's a monument to an enormous,
Well, anyone who builds it...
or he just has.
Так, ну и вход.
Hey, not so fast, chickens. Please excuse my partner. He didn't mean to be rude, it's just his terrible habits, as you may already know. Not as long as I'm here.
We'll see about that, furball.
Ah, look what the cat dragged in.
Funny, I don't recognize them.
Well, maybe if they had some guns with them? Tommy guns?
Oh, yeah, now I remember. The two suckers in the luxury van you shot to pieces. Twice.
Exactly.
What are you doing here, chickens? Would you like us to finish what we started?
We'd love to have fun with you boys, but we need to talk to your boss. And while we're at it, the lady of the house is also expecting us.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so horny.
In that case, I guess there's no reason for us to waste your precious time. Is that right, Gabriel? Get the hell out of our sight while there are still feathers on your skin, chickens.
Easy, pal. We're not even here anymore. Until next time, boys.
Do you sense that?
I do sense something. A king.
And utter incompetent.
You're right.
Don't shit with me. I'm afraid my partner speaks the truth, gentlemen.
Such tall and handsome.
Sure are, partner.
Угу. Го.
This must lead to Wessler and Natasha's suite.
Let's get the big guns out and kick...
No need for that, Marty. We'll wait until they invite us in. Like real...
Oh, my trigger finger's itching, Sonny.
Relax, Marty. Someone is gonna pay.
Yeah, just don't let it be us.
Так, Оливия. Здрасте.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise. Hello, Olivia. Sweetie.
Get lost.
What did you say, ma'am?
Turn around and get the hell out of here now, if you want to make it out with feathers intact.
Come on, Olivia. Don't worry about us. We know what we're doing.
Martin,
Huh?
don't you get it? You have to get out of here or you'll be in danger, and also her.
Do you mean Natasha? Please calm down, miss. We have to talk to Mr. Wessler and Miss Katsenko.
You really don't understand, do you?
What do they not understand, Olivia?
Да, прям русская.
So, what is it exactly that our guests don't understand?
I was trying to tell the detectives that Mr.
Ногтей
Wessler's
нету
very
же тех.
tired and doesn't welcome guests this early. He gets rather irate if he's being disturbed at this hour.
I'm sure Mr. Featherland and Mr. McChicken can wait here while Ibn refreshes himself. I'll entertain them until then.
Thank you, Miss... Katsenko.
Please, Sonny. I thought we've already discussed this. Call me Natasha.
Please, Natasha, can we talk to you in private?
Martin?
It's all right, Olivia. These gentlemen are my friends.
Yes, Miss Katsenko.
Ну какая?
I tried to warn you.
Thanks, Olivia?
Так, что-то еще есть?
Not yet. First,
Так,
You're right, Sonny.
так, стены.
It's like the vegetation's trying to...
maybe it will. Maybe in 100 years, nothing will be...
That's quite a...
Yeah, it is.
Так, архитектура.
This place is incredible.
Because
Ну, в
you
общем,
know,
бла-бла-бла. Го к Наташе.
The truth is, Ibn isn't really in a good shape today, gentlemen. He's rather furious. Are you sure this can't wait?
You commissioned us, Natasha, and we barely escaped with our combs intact.
So you know who left the threats.
Oh, we know much more than that, Natasha. We even know where you used to work. We talked to Madame Zavas.
Wild gods!
Why didn't you tell us?
Do you think it's easy for a woman to talk about such things, that she used to be an escort?
Along with Molly?
So you know.
Yeah, I know, Natasha. I also know all of this was a trap.
Believe me, I tried to handle things the least painfully I could. You weren't even supposed to know.
A lot shouldn't have happened. Poor Deborah shouldn't have had to die.
Dear sweet Deborah,
Cold, stiff Deborah.
please don't say that.
A price worth paying?
You cannot think I had anything to do with that. You just cannot.
I don't know, Natasha.
Please, Sonny, tell me, what is going on?
You have to know, right?
Please.
Excuse me for making you wait, detectives. I'm having a rough morning after a long night.
Is that so? Our night was also kinda long.
To put it mildly.
I was just telling the gentlemen that you were exhausted, my dear, and they should come back another time. I'll escort them out.
Oh, honey, no need for that. My door's always open to the legendary chicken police. Please, come on in, guys. Let's talk in my room.
Then this way, please.
You just stay here, my darling. I'm sure our conversation will bore you to death. Please, go and refresh yourself, or tell Olivia to go make some coffee.
Yes, dear. Whatever you like.
Please, follow me, gents.
Lead on, Wessler. So long, sweetheart.
Goodbye.
Так. Все?
You know, I had a dream before we came here. I saw Natasha with a bloody mouth
And? What is...
I don't know, Marty.
I'm just angry.
Your sense of justice.
More like my sense
Так,
of
так, так, все,
don't
ничего интересного, го. Ну что?
This estate is rather impressive.
Well, thank you.
I suppose it took years and years of cumbersome work to build it.
Yeah. As you say, Mr. Featherland, I'm rather...
You should be. Whoever built this place has a reason.
Are you trying to say something?
No, just thinking a lot.
Так, окна. Картина.
this painting.
It's beautiful and rather provocative. Almost makes my comb stand up.
I'm not surprised.
But the corner is missing.
You're right,
Ага.
Sonny. You're quite the observer.
Well, yeah.
Уголка, да,
This
нет.
painting's unfortunately damaged. I don't know where the missing piece could be.
You don't know? Well, if you're interested, we know exactly where it is.
Really?
Really, it's here with us.
An insignificant little piece, isn't it? But there's an exciting cat scratch on it.
More like a rat scratch, because it's a monogram.
A.W.
That's...
Albert Wessler. He's a great painter. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Enough. Out with it already. What are you trying to say? I have no time for your childish charades.
Easy, Wessler. We'll get to that in a bit.
Угу.
It's unbelievable how much trouble once...
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll make it clear for you soon.
Even my patience has its...
Так, ночной столик.
Do
Револьвер.
you keep a revolver in your bedroom?
Yeah, a bad habit. One who has a lot to lose has a lot to fear.
I agree.
Yeah, would you like a drink? This is a rather rare breed.
Really? Tempting, but I need...
Yeah, I've heard you don't...
And I've heard you don't despise murder, Wessler. By the way,
Yeah,
more like...
Так,
And
болтовня.
that's not a good...
Yeah. Are you trying to...
No, that's not how we do business.
I really hope so.
Болтовня, болтовня, болтовня. Так, кровать. Ну и все, да?
Impressive bed. Looks cozy.
Sure is better than a cell.
That's right, Marty.
I'm not sure I understand, gentlemen.
We'll see about that. Interesting. Now that I know who he really is, he doesn't even resemble Ibn Wessler.
So, what do you want to know? I've heard you've been through a rather eventful few days.
Oh, you have rather good informants.
Yeah, that's true. I should tell you, I see and hear everything that happens in the city. And you are exceptionally resilient. No offense.
None taken. But tell me, are we gonna flatter each other for a long time, or are we finally done with the courting?
Straight to the point. I like it. Yeah, so let's continue like that, shall we? What do you want? How dare you intrude upon me in my own house?
Oh, forgive us. Our moral compass has been confused a little bit after someone tried to kill us several times in the last 48 hours. With fire, with machine guns. I could go on.
And while we're at it, you could answer some of our questions. If you've nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear.
And then we'll just leave you alone.
All right? I'll go along with your childish little game. I would have had a long and tedious day ahead of me anyway. So, can we start?
With pleasure, Mr. Wessler.
Так, спросить. А что там у меня, кстати, было? Что там у меня было по людям? Людей я всех изучил. Я кого-то не видел, кого-то не знаю. Как так вышло? Ну ладно.
I have no idea what she sees in you, but Natasha's
Кого я
been
пропустил,
seriously
интересно?
worried about you.
Yeah, she, really worries more than usual, but it's understandable. Those disgusting messages.
Disgusting, all right. Do you know why that word exactly? Why did they write that specific word everywhere?
Since, Since
Двух?
you've been to the Nile, I guess you know the answer to your question.
Didn't it bother you, Wessler, what Natasha used to do?
Странно,
Surely
не
it
знаю,
must have
кого
upset you.
пропустил.
Why? Did it upset you when you discovered your wife did the same thing?
What did you just say?
What did you think, chicken? That I didn't know? Yeah, don't make me laugh. I know about everyone who ever set foot in that place. I can even tell you who Molly's regulars were, if you're interested.
You son of a bitch.
Sonny, don't.
Yes, detective?
Not yet.
You're right, Marty. It's not worth it.
Рысь-то есть? Рысь? Рысь? Который охранник? Который охранник. А нету, кстати, ее. А с ней невозможно поговорить, мне кажется. Ну вот ее, короче, здесь нету. С бараном, который... Ну вот рыси тут нету. Рыси здесь нет. Нету. По факту, наверное, она есть. Но я не могу сейчас никак отсюда уже уйти. Все, я не могу выйти отсюда никак. Ну ладно, наплевать.
About the painting.
Yeah. My brother Albert made it. He's
Засматриваешь? А, ну может быть.
He's a rather troubled individual.
Such self-criticism.
What did you say?
My partner means that you and your brother are very much alike. Identical twins, if I'm not mistaken.
Indeed. But, what does that have to do with the painting?
We'll get to that. Don't worry, Mr. Wessler. So Albert made the painting at your request, is that right? And the one that's in Natasha's room in the Tsar, too.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a crime?
No, it's not a crime in itself. This picture, it's rather strange, you know?
Why do you think so? It's just me, Natasha, and my brother.
The photo doesn't tell much in itself, yes. But if you already have the right information, suddenly it starts to talk.
Really?
He fell in love with her, didn't he?
Who'd you mean?
Albert, of course. He fell in love with Natasha. All those sessions while he was painting the pictures. Were you there every time?
You mean, me?
You.
No, I mean, while Albert was painting, yeah, but I wasn't there all the time. Albert was there, all along.
And do you think he could have fallen in love with Natasha? That's why he escaped? What do you think happened to him? Who tore out his tongue?
I have no idea.
Did Natasha know about what happened to your brother?
No, of course not.
Do you love beautiful things, Wessler?
Why do you ask that? Yeah, of course.
You were afraid of losing her, weren't you? To him.
Stop. Enough. If you want to ask something, ask clearly. Don't play with me. You understand?
We're just doing our job.
Then do it clearly. And quickly. Yeah, I'm really starting to lose my patience.
We visited Albert's cell and found something he seems to have forgotten to take with him in his great hurry.
That's a big mistake.
A classic, even.
What the hell are you babbling about?
This is Albert Wessler's love letter to Natasha.
More like a confession.
In which he tells her he's capable of doing anything for her, even the most horrible things.
Yeah, this letter doesn't prove anything at all. Albert is mad. Insane. He's not...
Да уж, попробуй докажи, что это не он.
Don't you understand?
But they believe yours, right? Because you're not Albert Wessler. You're Hobart Ibn Wessler, aren't you? How good it feels to be in his skin.
How dare you?
Just tell him, Sonny. I'm getting tired of this.
You're just a cheap fake, Albert. You couldn't follow in your brother's footsteps even if you wanted to. No matter how hard you tried, you couldn't get Natasha either. Am I right?
What? What did you just say?
She hates you, doesn't she? She doesn't know. She doesn't understand why, but she hates you. It's instinctive.
Yeah, what do you know? What could you possibly know about suffering and loneliness and the darkness? What could you know about hate, huh?
Допрос. Ой.
Albert is an imposter. He's not who he says he is, and might not even know who he really is. I have to concentrate on this first, to soften him up, and to avoid us being shot in the gizzard, of course. What were you thinking, Albert? How long did you think you could keep it up?
Until the end of my life, if needs. Yeah, I cared about nothing except for her to love me. Not for who Ibn was, but for who I am.
Why did you think that would happen? Everybody noticed the change.
Yeah, I knew it would be hard, Santino. But I also knew animals see what they want to see. I didn't have to behave like Ibn. They only had to believe I'm him.
Хотел всех видеть вокруг своих грязных пальцев. Ну, нужно его успокоить, поэтому...
Why did you decide
Второй
to take
вопрос.
your brother's place?
Yeah, as you're curious, from the moment I laid eyes on Natasha for the first time. But I had to convince myself that this was the only way.
You've never talked about your feelings for Natasha with your brother, am I right?
Are you insane? Yeah, Ibn would have had me killed immediately. And no one would ever know.
So instead, you've done the same thing, haven't you? What a comfortable excuse.
Comfortable? Do you think all of this was just some kind of cruel game for me? I had to destroy the person I loved and respected the most.
Cry me a river.
Yeah, you know, there's only a thin, fragile membrane between love and hate. If anything touches it, it tears immediately. You felt like this before, haven't you? Yeah, I can see it in
Как же
your
он мерзко
eyes.
разговаривает,
You
прям
can
капец.
analyze me until the sun goes down, Wessler. But you won't get far with that.
Yeah, evasive answer. So I'm right.
Жестокий манипулятор, самозванец. Крыса, так не говори-ка. Хотел всех вокруг... Так. Почему не убил сразу? Тебе удалось поверить, что ты... Почему просто не убил его сразу?
Why did you have to mutilate Ibn? Why didn't you just kill him immediately?
That's an interesting question, you see, but the answer is exceptionally simple. No matter how strange it is for you to understand, I loved my brother.
Weird way of showing your love, Albert.
You can't understand that. He was my everything, the only one who was close to me. Until I met Natasha.
She took your brother's place pretty quickly, didn't she? There's not much room in your heart, as I see it.
Yeah, you're understanding the situation, detective, but you know, very well it's not that simple. Ibn was my brother. I loved him despite all of his flaws and foul, petty lies. That's why I couldn't kill him.
Not immediately, you mean?
Unfortunately, tearing out his tongue wasn't enough. Yeah, I must admit I've underestimated him.
And poking out his eye?
Oh, that was just an accident, Mr. Featherland.
Just an accident? You're a dirty clucking...
Квоханый, помойный выродок.
Please,
Что такое
don't be
квоханый?
vulgar, Sonny. It's too dangerous in your current situation and doesn't even suit you.
Минус 10. Так. Воспринимаешь себя как обоих сразу, даже сейчас?
So you feel you're two people at the same time, even now?
Does it sound crazy? Maybe it is. But Ibn lives inside me. Sometimes he's even stronger than Albert ever was.
Do you think you can avoid the gas chamber with this, Albert?
I don't have to avoid anything, Sonny. You and your friend, will never leave this place.
Там же Берта есть.
It's better if you start getting used to the thought.
You're not the cold-blooded killer you'd like to think you are.
Yeah, do you think so? Try me, detective.
Занять место и жить долго и счастливо. Что бы стало делать, если бы Наташа узнала?
That was your plan. Take his place and
Нужно
live
спокойный ответ
happily
какой-то
ever
делать.
after.
Вопрос.
Why? Isn't it good enough of a plan, Mr. Featherland? It was perfect, even in its imperfection.
Which is
Ibn's ghost.
is what?
Please don't take it literally, Mr. Chicken. I'm not talking about spirits. When Ibn died, I didn't just take his place, but also his role. He himself, his essence, if you will. Yeah, though I guess that's too much for you to
Руки
understand.
трясутся, да?
So
Видно,
you mean
видно он.
Ibn's
Руки трясутся у
here
него.
with us even now?
He was here all along. Don't you get it? I am Hobart Ibn Wessler.
I must get serious, because looking at the gun in Wessler's trembling hand, I'm afraid I don't have much time. Albert is a cruel psychopath,
Так.
but maybe I can turn that cruelty against him.
Когда именно ты решил убить его?
When was the moment you decided to kill him, Albert?
When I drew the last stroke on that fatal painting, Mr. Featherland. When I glanced at it for the last time, and then at Natasha, who was shivering under the weight of my gaze.
You simply fell in love with her? End of story?
Not in the slightest, Mr. Featherland. Love is, just chemistry. What I felt was more than that.
Everybody thinks that, Albert, but we all feel the same. We're just fools.
No, Mr. Featherland. Not at all. At that moment, I knew what I was gonna do. I knew that the world was coming to an end if I didn't do it. It implodes on itself and ceases to exist. I couldn't let that happen. I couldn't.
Let him have her, right? You simply wanted her for yourself.
I wanted her for ourselves, Sonny. I was him by then. He just didn't know
Да,
yet.
совсем поехал. Кукухой. Так. Ты просто драная копия, дешевка, ты в курсе?
You're just a cheap copy. You know that, right?
You're just making your position worse by insulting me, Detective.
I wasn't insulting you. I was saying out loud what we all know very well.
Don't force my hand to pull the trigger ahead of time. There are many, many things you'd still like to know, wouldn't you?
Why don't we get it over with, Wessler? Pull the trigger and let's finish this pathetic charade.
You think I don't dare do it?
Блин.
If you
Что-то пошло не
love
так.
Natasha so much, how could you lie to her all along?
We lie the most to those we truly love, Santino. Isn't that right?
It shouldn't be that way.
You mean your wife, don't you? See? That's how it goes. We lie because we don't want to cause even more hurt.
What you did, Wessler, is nothing like Molly or me. What you did was out of simple selfishness and cowardice.
Watch what you're spitting out that dirty beak of yours, Santino.
I'm not afraid of you, Wessler. You'd better get that into your small little rat brain.
Classic mistake, Mr. Featherland.
I'm very close to breaking him. But if I'm too hard on him, I could quickly be signing my death warrant.
Так, короче,
Time to dig a little bit deeper and uncover
не
Wessler's
жестить.
wound.
Не жестить. Минус 40. Если бы тебе была хоть капля достоинства, ты бы эту пушку в своей голове представил. Наташа была дурак тебе, даже слишком. Чё-то я это... Ссусь
Natasha was
немного.
kind to you, right? Too kind.
Natasha was simply amazing, gentle, kind, lively, but still so distant.
You're telling me.
It's like she was from another world. A world where everything's full of charm and grace and everything's fragile and delicate. Do you understand?
I think I do, yes.
I knew Albert's touch would harm her. Albert is rough. Albert can't keep such a delicate thing in his arms.
That's why you had to become Ibn, am I right?
I didn't take Ibn's place, Mr. Featherland. I became one with him, can't you see? It's the only way I could comprehend and accept.
Походу он
the
поехал
miracle
больше,
that was
чем
Natasha.
ожидалось.
Was.
I think I've corrupted her. She's not that gentle and pure creature I painted on the canvas anymore. I ruined her. she became rotten under my hands.
Может, еще не поздно, Альберт. Скажи ей правду и покончи с этим.
Maybe it's not too late, Albert. Tell her the truth and end this.
No. You can't understand this. She can't either. I killed Ibn, but he also killed me. Can't you see? We're nothing without each other.
You can't be two people at the same time, Albert. Nobody can bear the weight of the sins of two souls.
Ibn loved her. I admired her. Ibn was crazy about her. I've been crazy for a long time. Ibn idolized her, and I hated her. And if there's anything more blind, more devoted, more extreme, and more true than love, it could only be hate, Mr. Featherland. It's an endlessly exciting, thrilling, and warm feeling. And infinitely red. Just like love.
You know you're not going to be able to go through with it, right? That you won't be able to carry the weight. But you still did it. Why?
Yeah, if I didn't kill him and become one with him, Albert would have died, Mr. Featherland.
And the threats? Which one of you was that? Albert or Ibn? Who wrote them? And which one of you killed Deborah?
In my world, Ibn and I are inseparable. Just like love and hate are one and the same. And I hate Natasha so much that I could destroy myself along with her, just so she would die with me. Are you familiar with this feeling, Mr. Featherland?
More than life itself.
You see? We're not so different after all.
You and I have nothing in common, Wessler. You know why?
Крыса.
Mr. Featherland.
Because if I were in your shoes, I would have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
Goodbye, Sonny.
So long, Albert.
Что-то не очень пошло. Это Берта. А нет.
So, you heard everything.
I heard everything.
I'm sorry you had to find out like this.
And thank you. If it weren't for you,
Yes, both of you would be dead, I know. But believe me, I still thought carefully before firing.
About who to target.
You know, I truly loved Ibn.
But this man wasn't him. You felt it, didn't you?
Maybe I even knew it. I don't know. But I still can't believe it.
It won't be easy to process for any of us.
Петушился со своей Бертой вообще, не говори-ка.
And regarding Molly,
Сам в итоге не стрелял. Почти.
the cops. But how? How do they know?
I have no idea, Marty.
do not look at me. I did not call them.
Olivia?
Don't worry, Natasha. They won't lay a finger on you. I promise.
Please, Sonny. You don't need to worry about me.
I don't want to be rude, Sonny, but I'm more worried about us than her. Hello, boss.
Hello, boys.
Before you say anything, we can explain.
No need for that, Santino. Monica already told me everything.
Monica?
Hey, boys. What were you thinking?
Только во дворе со всеми покрытия будут титры? Окей. Угу.
Thanks, Mon. Should we say we owe you one?
You know already, boys. Shoes are my weakness.
Hey, mine too.
Of all that's furry, we don't want to hear that. And boys,
Yes, boss.
don't believe you'll get away with it so easily. I want a report on my desk from both of you with all the details. Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. It'll all make sense, believe us.
Когда мне самому станет ясно, какого хрена произошло.
What
Касценка?
Marty's trying
Окей,
to tell
окей.
you is that we had good reason to investigate outside the law. But we're sorry.
What happened to you, Sonny? You're sorry? Did you hit your head?
Why does everybody keep asking that?
Why indeed?
So, can we go now, boss? Without getting handcuffed?
Don't give me ideas, Santino.
Thanks, boss.
Так,
Ah, look what garbage the wind brought in.
Good gods, is this guy everywhere?
Our faithful chronicler.
I swear I'm gonna hang him someday.
ну поболтаем.
How the hell did you find your way here, Tim? Always where the trouble is.
Sometimes I think you're the criminal mastermind behind all the dark dealings in this city.
I wish.
I wish too, because then we could legally throw you in jail.
I love your sense of humor, Sonny.
I wasn't joking.
So, where did you get the scoop?
Are you kidding me? The whole city's talking about you. You've left quite the mess behind.
That I admit.
Well, it's a miracle that all of the city's smear sheet journalists aren't here already. Oh, while we're at it, will you give me an exclusive
Нет.
interview?
Pluck off, Tim.
Hey! Just one quote, guys. They say you've taken down the whole Wessler Empire. They say...
I say you're full of shit, Tim, and you can quote me on that.
Just one quote, guys.
I say...
Так, окей. Моника.
Thanks again, Mon. If not for you, those fur heads would have put holes in us.
No wonder, since you put holes in their boss.
Well, actually, that wasn't us.
Then who was it?
Natasha.
Really? I wouldn't have thought it of her. It's a pleasant surprise.
It was for us too, believe me.
I don't know if I've ever seen Monica in daylight.
This means she's real, not just the ghost of the police station.
So, you can finally ask her out on a date.
I didn't even hear that. How did you know we were here?
I always pay attention, Sonny. And because I know you like you are my own nestlings.
No, I love it when you say pretty little things like that.
Don't get used to it, Marty.
So,
Как
what's your
35-й.
shoe size again, Mon?
35, Sonny. I like high heels. And because there's two of you, 2 pairs will do for a start.
Anything for you, darling.
I don't want just anything, Marty. I want shoes.
Yes, ma'am.
Все?
See you at the PD?
At the PD, Mon.
Police department.
See you at the PD?
At the
Police department.
Damn, I wouldn't have thought it.
What? Are you waiting for me to change my mind?
No, sir.
Then stop pecking around here.
Yes, sir.
Все?
Santino, you're doing that on purpose?
No, sir. Never, sir.
Then get the fuck out of here. Santino, then
Так,
get the...
окей. Вход. Ой, там их много еще.
What will happen to her now?
I don't know, Marty. I have no idea. So, what now? Where to next?
I think I should mourn, right?
You should.
But I don't know what to feel anymore, Sonny.
I understand, Natasha. You know, if you need anything,
Yes, I know where to find you.
see you around, sweetheart.
Ma'am.
Goodbye, detectives. And what about you, Sonny?
I'll go home and sleep. Maybe for 3 days. I'll try to forget.
I'm sorry I dragged you into this. If there's anything I can do.
I'm not sorry, Natasha. It's better this way. We find out painful truths, but at least we see clearly now, don't we?
Yes, I think you're right. Thank you.
We thank you, Natasha. You saved our lives.
But it was also me who endangered you in the first place, right?
Well, I won't argue about that.
Все?
Thank you.
Well, I won't...
Здесь все. Так. Го на вход. Громила.
Look who's here.
What a surprise. Our biggest fans.
What do you think? Should we give them our autographs? Gentlemen?
Gentlemen?
We're honestly very sorry it had to end like this.
Yeah, this peacefully.
For myself, I'm glad, gentlemen. I would have sincerely regretted it if we had to shoot both of you, but unfortunately, that seemed to be the only solution to this, rather nasty situation. Fortunately, it didn't turn out that way. Joyful.
Don't think we'll be behind bars for long, chickens. Whistler may be dead, but his empire still won't crumble.
Oh, look at that. He can talk.
In complex sentences, too.
Yeah, or something like that.
Amazing.
Но все равно с ним не поговорить, да?
Please tell me.
If we're lucky, Mark.
Никак, да?
I hope we'll meet again, gentlemen.
So do I, Shakespeare. And while you're sitting in...
Maybe I will.
I certainly hope so, Pat.
Окей, Боска.
Look at that. The mongrel caught himself some big game.
Now he can wag his tail.
Yuck.
Пуговица расстегнута.
You're a good boy, Bosco. Nice work.
You know, folks, somebody's gotta take care of the real police work while you're tearing up the city.
Sorry for the mess, Bosco, but you know us.
Yeah, unfortunately, I do.
How did you catch them? After the gunshot, I was sure these two would show up. They have a habit of doing that.
They were already in cuffs before then, Sonny. We had the house surrounded. If you could have hung on, maybe nobody would have died.
Hey, a second longer and it would have been us.
That's your story.
Cluck you sideways, Bosco. Nice catch, Bosco. You can mount them on your wall as trophies.
Yeah, I wish I could, Sonny.
Nice catch, Bosco.
Так, окей, Оливия.
Do you think she was part of it?
I don't think so, Marty. She seemed entirely honest. Maybe she was the only one who was honest with us the whole time.
You may be right.
Уже конец, почти
Hey,
конец,
Olivia.
почти конец.
Marty,
I just, wanted to thank you
for what exactly?
for trying to save us.
I didn't do it only for you, believe me. I loved my job while I had it. Now my employee is dead, so I don't have a job anymore.
I didn't even think of that.
Of course you didn't.
Can I do anything to help?
I think I'll manage. I always do.
If there's anything at all.
Thank you, Martin. There's no need for that.
Все?
If there's...
Thank you.
Ну чё, вроде все. Чё, все?
Santino.
No, sir.
А куда идти-то?
See you at the beach.
At the PD.
Thank you.
We think...
But it...
Well, I won't...
Так, и чё? И куда? Где статуя? А, еще и здесь.
Must be some,
Don't believe...
And
that, too.
what about him? How the hell did he wind up here?
I don't know, but it's suspicious.
You think someone hired...
Could be. You. What are you doing here?
I was just driving around. You know.
Trying to feed your grandpa? So? Was it a case? Were you, maybe investigating us?
What can I say, Sonny? Am I busted?
Did someone hire you to follow us?
I just had to keep an eye on you and not get involved. That's all. I admit there were a couple of crazy situations when it was hard not to.
But you managed somehow, right?
A professional's a professional, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. So you won't tell us who hired you, whatever we do?
Unfortunately, I can't, my friend. I made a promise.
You and your promises.
Some people still take them seriously.
You're a real piece of guano. You know that?
Of course. I've learned everything
Старый
from you,
пердун.
you old fart.
I think I have an idea who hired you, Phil.
Hey, stop it right there. I don't want to know who you think.
Oh, are you afraid your reaction would give you away?
Huh, you wish, pal.
Anyway, it's good to see you here.
I'm glad you made it out alive.
Yeah, not much. Maybe one day.
Not what?
Oh,
Так,
yeah.
что, все?
Anyway, it's
Yeah.
Так, окей. А,
So,
все.
here they are, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicken Police. In the flesh.
Damn it, Tim. Drop it and cluck off.
Oh, no, boys. This time, you deserve it.
What the cluck did you say, boss?
Stand up straight and try to look like someone who's glad to be alive.
Yes, sir, we'll try.
Ooh, attention Chicken Police. Say cheese.
Кишмиш. Кишмиш. Wrestlers, this Каценко went чего? Так, за титрами еще касцена.
Natasha,
You were expecting me, weren't you?
I wouldn't say that, but I'm not surprised.
I just wanted to talk to you.
About what exactly?
You know very well.
What do you think, Natasha? Why didn't she tell me?
Because she loved you.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, she may have never left the place. Perhaps she'd still be there.
Ah, sheep shit.
Sheep
We
shit.
used to dream about falling in love with a nice man who comes and saves us someday. A knight in shining armor. You know, like in the fairy tales.
And how did that work out for you?
She fell in love with a good guy. I didn't. I envy her.
I'm not that good guy, Natasha. But if it's any consolation, she could have found him. Maybe she's living with him right now, somewhere on the other side of the world.
Well, goodbye, Sonny.
So long, sweetheart. Hey, Natasha, you have a light? I've been trying to smoke this sorry-ass cig all day. It's driving me crazy.
Maybe you don't really need it.
Maybe you're right. Maybe.
Курение убивает. Call me. О, вот так вот, да? Чему быть, того не миновать.